This is what happens when precision meets devastating firepower. Enter the M777 howitzer, a weapon so deadly it has become a symbol of precision artillery in modern warfare. In November 2023, near Robotine, M777 howitzers provided relentless firepower that shattered Russian defensive lines, paving the way for Ukrainian armored units to press forward. But why does the M777 earn its place among the deadliest weapons? Its lethal combination of mobility and precision allows it to deliver devastating blows from over 15 miles away, even in unpredictable battlefield conditions. Take its role in the Kherson City Liberation Campaign, for example. Ukrainian forces used the M777 to dismantle entrenched Russian artillery along the Dnipro River, creating gaps in enemy defenses that allowed advancing troops to move safely. And during Ukraine's southern offensive in the summer of 2022, these howitzers targeted Russian positions near Nova Kakhovka, destroying key logistics hubs and silencing long-range guns, threatening Ukrainian troops. With M777 clearing paths, the United States provided another deadliest weapon, the HIMARS. It's November 2024. Near Tavria in the Zaporizhia region, the calm is suddenly shattered by the roar of a HIMARS rocket. It rips into a cluster of Russian soldiers, causing instant chaos. But what really shocks them is what comes next. A second strike hits just as they try to retreat. The result? Total devastation, scattering their forces and completely throwing off their operations. But what makes HIMARS more than just a weapon? This rocket system doesn't just fire, it haunts its targets with precision and speed that leave no time for escape. Think you're safe 50 miles behind the front lines? Think again. HIMARS obliterates what the enemy considers untouchable. It strikes supply chains, command centers, and troop concentrations well beyond traditional artillery range, slicing through the soft underbelly of military logistics. And the legend grows. In December, a coordinated HIMARS and drone attack wiped out 3 senior Russian officers, decision-makers on the front line, eliminated in an instant. Expanding their operational reach, Ukrainian forces have also targeted Russian assets within Russian territory. In June 2024, a HIMARS strike destroyed components of a Russian S-300-400 air defense system in the Belgorod region, marking a notable extension of Ukraine's defensive operations. If you're enjoying the video, please give it a like. It helps more people find it. But while HIMARS dominated on the ground, Ukraine faced a growing threat from above. Russia unleashed a Kinzhal missile toward Kyiv, capable of reaching speeds up to Mach 10. The US had supplied Ukraine with the Patriot air defense system, which had yet to be tested against such advanced weaponry. Defying expectations, the Patriot system successfully intercepted the Kinzhal, neutralizing the threat. This marked a pivotal moment, demonstrating the system's effectiveness against cutting-edge missiles. Let's go back to 2022. When Ukraine was fighting to survive its earliest battles, the US provided the deadliest weapon to Ukraine that gave them the hope to fight. It was a Javelin missile, but how does something so compact take on one of the most dangerous and formidable tank forces in the world? Here's the twist. It's not about size, it's about precision. Ukrainian troops mastered the Javelin's fire-and-forget capabilities with remarkable speed. By mid-2022, these missiles achieved an astounding 98% accuracy, taking out nearly 300 Russian tanks and armored vehicles from 312 shots fired. This is a lethal precision that even US Marines couldn't have imagined during training. Thanks to this unmatched effectiveness, by February 2023, Russia had lost around 3,000 tanks, the same number it had at the start of the full-scale invasion. But you know what is really a fun fact here? Ukraine first received Javelins in 2018 during Donald Trump's presidency, marking a pivotal moment as these were the very first Western weapons supplied to the Ukrainian armed forces. But that's not all. The Javelin became a symbol, sparking the creation of the St. Javelin meme, a powerful representation of Ukraine's fight that no single weapon had ever sparked before. One moment that captured this perfectly occurred in the early days of the invasion, when Ukrainian forces, equipped with javelins, ambushed Russian convoys in dense forested areas near Kyiv. From afar, the missiles fired from a hidden position like a silent predator. As the javelins locked onto their targets, they soared towards Russia's T-90 tanks and armored vehicles, punctuating each explosion with a fiery blow, devastating their armor in seconds. Another tiny but lethal weapon, Stinger missiles, this time for air defense. On September 11, 2024, a Russian Su-30, designed to dominate the skies, soared confidently above the Kharkiv region. But that confidence didn't last. Armed with a single Stinger missile, Ukrainian Main Directorate of Intelligence fighters turned the tables, blasting the jet out of the sky with precision. This wasn't just a lucky shot, it was a demonstration of how a well-placed shoulder-fired missile can neutralize even the most advanced aircraft in the right hands. This moment didn't just end with smoke in the sky, it underscored a critical point. Agility and tactics can outclass raw firepower, but it didn't stop there. In December 2024, something uncertain happened. For the first time in history, Ukrainian forces used a Stinger to successfully shoot down a Russian cruise missile during a massive barrage. Whether against jets, helicopters, or drones, the Stinger doesn't just target, it eliminates. When we talk about Ukraine's missile capabilities, there's a missile that deserves special attention, the Harpoon anti-ship missile. But why does this particular missile stand out? On June 17, 2022, the Ukrainian Navy delivered a devastating blow that sent shockwaves through the Black Sea. They managed to sink the Russian logistics vessel Vasily Beg, which was carrying personnel, weapons, and crucial ammunition to the strategic Snake Island. But this wasn't just a tactical victory, it was a message. Why should the sinking of this vessel matter? Well, despite lacking a traditional navy, Ukraine still managed to strike at Russia's most vulnerable sea lanes. And that vessel was on a mission to resupply Russian forces holding Snake Island, an outpost that had become a symbol of Moscow's reach. This is the most mysterious weapon on our list, a unique kamikaze drone designed in the US specifically for Ukraine. Meet the Phoenix Ghost. Until October 2024, it was a ghost in every sense. No photos, no videos, just destruction. But finally, we can unveil the details. First off, the Phoenix Ghost isn't one drone. It's a whole family of attack UAVs. At less than $50,000 a piece, it's a bargain compared to the $200,000 Switchblade 600. And it works. At least 60% hit high-value targets, according to Forbes. The flagship model, the Dagger, is a compact powerhouse. 6 feet long, 8.5-foot wingspan, 35 pounds with an 8-pound payload. It flies 80 minutes and covers up to 118 miles. The origins of the Phoenix Ghost are just as intriguing. In 2022, with Russian tanks rolling toward Kyiv, Ukrainian forces needed drones fast. So 121 Daggers were delivered in just 3 months. Since then, the US has supplied over 5,000 drones, making this its largest UAV project for Ukraine. These drones don't rely on GPS. They use visual navigation to track landmarks and hit targets precisely, even in tough conditions. Efficient, stealthy, and deadly. The Phoenix Ghost truly lives up to its name. Subscribing boosts the video in the algorithm. Please consider hitting that button. Another US deadliest marvel that made entry at the right time with the right tool. Enter the JDAM, or Joint Direct Attack Munition, a simple yet transformative piece of military innovation. Think about it. A bomb that was once as unpredictable as the weather, now turned into a highly precise weapon that could track and destroy targets with pinpoint accuracy. In June 2023, Ukrainian forces targeted a Russian command post of the 238th Independent Rifle Battalion. Drone footage confirmed the destruction of the facility, demonstrating the precision capabilities of JDAM ER munitions. Similarly, in February 2024, a JDAM ER bomb was used to destroy a Russian command post and missile artillery depot near the village of Chelberda. The 38th Marine Brigade's Air Reconnaissance Unit confirmed the successful strike, highlighting the strategic advantage provided by these advanced munitions. Same year, Ukrainian forces targeted Russian positions at the Avdiivka coke plant, where occupiers had established command posts and electronic warfare systems. A JDAM ER bomb precisely struck one of the buildings, disrupting enemy operations in the area. In August 2024, Ukrainian forces launched a precision strike against bridge crossings in Russia's Kursk region using the GBU-62 JDAM ER bombs delivered by MiG-29 fighter jets. This strike aimed to disrupt Russian troop and supply movements, significantly impacting military logistics in the region. The ability to perform standoff attacks with guided munitions like the JDAM ER paved the way for usage of Western aircraft. This is where F-16 takes the entry in battlefield. In August 2024, Ukraine's newly acquired F-16 jets played a pivotal role in defending against a significant Russian missile and drone attack. The jets were instrumental in intercepting and neutralizing over 200 incoming missiles and drones. According to a Facebook post by Ukraine's Air Force Command on December 13, 2024, a Ukrainian F-16 pilot achieved a world first by shooting down 6 Russian cruise missiles in a single combat sortie. Other missiles for HIMARS and M270 MLRS systems have gained recognition for their precision and power. ATACMS stands apart with its exceptional range and devastating impact. A single pilot in an F-16 shot down 6 Russian missiles, 2 of which were destroyed using the aircraft's onboard gun. contributing to the interception of 81 missiles and 105 drones during a massive Russian attack, marking a significant milestone in air defense operations. If the F-16s are the devastating Russians' weaponry in the sky, what weapon on the ground strikes with equal fury? That's where the Abrams tank comes in. On October 21, 2024, in the Kursk region, a coordinated attack between Abrams and Bradley neutralized the Russian offensive. In the village of Novoivanovka, the combined assault led to the destruction of Russian shelters and the elimination of enemy forces. Now, here's the catch. While the Abrams brings serious heavy-hitting power, it's not invincible. The Ukrainians knew from the start they'd need more than just a few of these beasts. Quantity is crucial in any large-scale military operation. The decision to deploy just a small number of Abrams would leave gaps in defensive and offensive operations. To ensure that the tank's battlefield presence is overwhelming, Ukrainian forces sought to bolster their arsenal by integrating Abrams with Bradley IFVs, thereby multiplying their battlefield leverage. But here's another crucial factor. Delivering 120mm shells for the Abrams was quite a challenge, as they had to be transported across the oceans. The challenge for the Ukrainians was to secure a steady supply. Without a well-stocked ammunition chain, the effectiveness of these tanks becomes negligible. Ukrainian tank crews have expressed concerns about the tank's armor not being sufficient against modern weaponry, particularly drones. To counter this, Ukrainians built steel cages around the tanks, which increased 35% chances of survival. Above all the weapon, there is a deadly weapon which wakes Russians up in the night, the ATACMS. But what makes the ATACMS missiles so much more lethal than other weapons in Ukraine's arsenal? Other missile systems like HIMARS and M270 MLRS have gained recognition for their precision and power. The ATACMS stands apart with its exceptional range and devastating impact. Unlike shorter-range missiles, ATACMS can strike targets as far as 190 miles deep into enemy territory. And this is what Ukraine has been looking for. On November 19, 2024, Ukrainian forces launched 6 ATACMS missiles, targeting a munitions storage facility near Karachev in Bryansk Oblast, approximately 70 miles from the Ukrainian border. The attack resulted in a large explosion, with video footage capturing a fireball soaring hundreds of feet in the air. Ukrainian officials confirmed the strike, noting that the facility stored artillery ammunition, including anti-aircraft missiles. Subsequently, on November 25, 2024, Ukrainian forces fired ATACMS missiles at the Kursk-Vostochny airfield, located about 6 miles from the city of Kursk. The attack targeted a largely vacant airfield, with reports indicating that Russian air defense systems intercepted several of the incoming missiles. On December 11, 2024, the ATACMS missiles struck an aviation facility in Taganrog, located on the Azov Sea coast. The target was the Taganrog Aviation Scientific and Technical Complex, a significant aircraft repair plant. The attack damaged the industrial enterprise and vehicles in its parking lot. As Ukraine's most lethal and feared weapon, the ATACMS redefines what striking fear into the enemy really means. As we witness the devastating impact of ATACMS missiles, one question stands out. What missile could possibly compete with its range and power? Could a system like Russia's Iskander or another from a different country level the playing field for Ukraine? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.